of the crowd last night. Right now on Denver 7 News at 7 o'clock on Local 3, the Mile High City is on fire this morning after the Avs did indeed find a way to win Game 1 against the Tampa Bay Lightning.
We are talking to the team, the fans who helped fuel that momentum into overtime, leading to that game-winning goal.
Also, Colorado's third largest city is taking steps today to combat an epidemic of car theft.
And the Fed announces the largest interest rate hike in years to control inflation. We'll break down what it means for your finances right now.
Testing the limits of our budget, but all talk is about the Avs this morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. Lisa, of course, stayed up to watch that overtime win. Yeah, at least it was the first minute of overtime, right?
True. Yes. True. I could be a lot more tired this morning. I'm glad that the second game's on a Saturday night. We've got beautiful conditions this morning. A nice start to a day after a great night of hockey. Right now we're going to be in the, looks like 60s through early morning, mid 80s by about 1 o'clock, and then we'll hit highs in the low to mid 90s. It'll be a pretty warm day today. This is just the start of some pretty big heat as we head into Father's Day weekend. Boulder, 91 today. Evergreen, a high of 83. You'll find some low to mid 90s. Closer to Denver and Castle Rock at right around 90. Some near triple-digit heat to the southeast, and that's going to be hot here in town as well. We're going to hit some of these numbers tomorrow here in Denver on Friday. So we'll take a closer look at that, plus our chance for any thunderstorms here over the next couple of days. There's going to be a better chance of it and more wildfire smoke. Details on our Super 7 Day coming up.
And we have good news up to the north as all lanes are finally open just in the last 30 seconds of southbound I-25 up here between Highway 60 and Highway 56. That would take you into Berthoud. Take a look. Air Tracker 7's over the backups right now, and you can still see some of the really big delays going on that southbound side. Starting to release on the front end, but still really heavy all the way back there. So take a look at the travel times right now. It's registering at an hour and a half. It's not quite that bad, but it will take a little bit of time for all of that traffic to wind its way out. And some of the side roads that were really heavy, including County Road 7, that was really bad. That's also going to take some time to wind out as well. The rest of the drive around Metro Denver, very typical stuff. No major problems on or off the highway. It's going to slow you down too terribly much right now.
All right, the Avs showing why they're favored to bring the cup home, beating the two-time champion Tampa Bay Lightning a minute into overtime at Ball Arena last night.
Yeah, very resilient win last night. The team has its eyes on the prize, though. They tweeted overnight, 1 down, 3 to go. Still some work to do. Denver 7's Nick Rothschild has a look at the game highlights and reaction from the players.
So the Avs convert an off night for Andrei Vasilevskiy into a win to start this series 1-0. And for me, that was the biggest thing. Andrei Vasilevskiy, the game's best goalie, didn't have it tonight, and the Avs made him pay to win the game. The other thing the Avs did great was take emotional evenness into overtime. This is their 5th game in overtime. They're now 4-1 in overtime in these playoffs. The Lightning hadn't played an overtime game since the first round. They're now 1-1. And despite the emotion and nerves of the moment, the Avs found a way to get it done in crunch time.
I was kind of nervous too, and I had a little bit of problems sleeping last night, and woke up at 6 in the morning and couldn't wait to play a game. So I mean, yeah, definitely I feel, like I said, I feel like I've been there and I kind of know the situation and what's on stake, and yeah.
Just wait till kids, you'll be up at 6 every day. People's going to question the rest versus rust all along, and that's nothing new to us. We believe that rest is important, and it's going to be important in this series, and long term it'll be good for us. And you know, we knew it wasn't going to be an issue to get up for this one and come out with a lot of energy. I mean, it's a game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals at home. You know, so we were just feeding off of that energy, and the whole city's been buzzing all week, and it's great to see.
Oh boy, if you can't get up for the first game of the Stanley Cup Finals, might want to check your pulse. Gabe Landeskog is right. This building was rocking, and they rode that energy into an early lead, and they found it again late to get the job done in overtime. And you gotta feel for Andrei Burakovsky. The guy's had a bit of an up and down postseason. A lot of fans may be calling for him to be moved out of the lineup, but Jared Bednar showed confidence in him. He returned the favor with a 1-0 series lead tonight and that overtime goal. Reporting from Ball Arena, Nick Rothschild, Denver 7 Sports.
And you saw it, the fans helped fuel that win. Denver 7's Veronica Costa is live from Ball Arena. The crowd was just wild last night, and they're really pretty confident for the rest of the series going into Game 2 now.
That's exactly it. Inside Ball Arena, everything was electric. Those fans were chanting, they were yelling, they were even singing a bit. And then once the game was over, the thousands of them inside of there, they walked away just so happy that the Avs were able to win in overtime, get that goal there at the end, and call off, or be able to finish off, rather, Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. And of course, once those fans went outside, the excitement doesn't stop there. It only continued. Take a listen to this.
Avs are just dominating right now. This Tampa has no answer for our speed.
So much speed. We got everything it takes this year. We're taking the cup home. They're going to bring it back to Colorado. Hopefully it's in 4, but I think 5-6, we got it.
And take a look at this video. It shows you just how excited those Avs fans were and just how many of them were packed into Ball Arena last night. The Avs did start off strong and they ended off strong. That's really what matters here. There were so many happy moments after the game and during the game. Take a look at this one that we're going to show you here.
Like Stanley Cup playoff, like final game, and I just like a Stanley Cup so I could be on the Jumbotron and have some fun and show everyone, and I also watched it too.
And now comes the rest of the series. Game 2 is what's coming up next. That's scheduled for Saturday. In Denver, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Thank you, Veronica. We also talked with a Colorado hockey coaching legend to help break down Game 1. George Gwozdecky led DU to 2 national titles. He's now at Valor Christian High School and is a former Lightning assistant coach. He touched on the takeaways from the overtime win.
You know, I think that that was a great emotional boost for our hometown team. And certainly there was that moment in that late in the second period, and you know, especially in the second period when Tampa tied it up, and early in the third, where all of a sudden you could see the the noise and the emotion in the building just get sucked right out, and all of a sudden Tampa has a little bit of the momentum, if you will. But I think just showing how they responded, they really played well.
So they hope to take that into Game 2 as well. Our Avs coverage continues in our next half hour with a new video of the special moment as fans poured out of Ball Arena that caught the attention of the NHL. And we have a unique playoff auction organized by the girlfriend of one of the Avs players. Well, the largest single interest rate hike in almost 3 decades will strain your budget even more than it is already.
Yeah, it is the latest action from the Federal Reserve. The goal, of course, to get inflation under control. But as Denver 7's Jessica Crawford is here to explain, this will not be fun for our budgets right away.
No, and we're already cutting back, so many of us, Nicole. Well, now student loans, mortgages, credit cards, they could all end up costing us even more than they are now. And yes, this is the biggest hike that we've seen in about 28 years. But other increases could be on the way. On Wednesday, the Fed raised its key short-term interest rates by 0.75 percentage point, its largest hike since 1994, to a range of 1.5 to 1.75%. Experts say we could see aggressive increases in July and September and more typical quarter-point increases the rest of the year. The rate hike is expected to increase interest rates for credit cards, home equity lines of credit, and mortgages, as well as other loans. Fixed 30-year mortgages already went from an interest rate of just over 3% to more than 5% this year in expectation of the Fed's changes. The rate hike comes on top of expensive gas and food prices. Consumer prices surged more than 8% in May compared to the year before. Many Americans are struggling, or at least having to change up their spending habits.
We're confined, we're just kind of being like kept prisoners in our own little spaces because we can't afford to do anything.
It's been bad. I am so not used to this. 8 gallons for $40. That's kind of crazy.
And we are not alone. In England, the Bank of England raised its interest rates 0.25%. Live in Denver, I'm Jessica Crawford, Denver 7.
Thank you, Jessica. As interest rates rise, the demand for mortgages is now half of what it was about a year ago. Experts say higher rates, higher home prices, and a shortage of inventory are all hurting demand from potential home buyers. As we take a live look from our state capitol this morning, later today, Governor Polis and members of the Black Democratic Legislative Caucus will raise the Juneteenth flag. The governor signed a bill last month making Juneteenth our state holiday. It became a federal holiday last year. Juneteenth is the oldest known celebration commemorating the end of slavery in the United States, and it marks the day slaves in Texas were told they were free, although it was 2.5 years after President Lincoln's Emancipation Proclamation. Denver 7 is a proud sponsor of the Juneteenth Music Festival in the Five Points neighborhood, but keeping the event free isn't easy. You can help by eating at any Chiba Hut today. The Juneteenth Music Festival is Saturday and Sunday up and down Welton Street. It all starts with a parade at 11 a.m. Saturday. Parents, you're a step closer to being able to get your kids a COVID vaccine. What still has to happen before shots are approved for young children?
And Disney is offering a once-in-a-lifetime experience with hopefully a once-in-a-lifetime price tag. What over $100,000 will get you?